Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about movies, TV shows, music, and any other interesting topics. Today's episode is going to be about the new movie. Well, not really new. It came out like last month. Called The Greatest Showman, starring the one and only Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Zac Efron and Zendaya is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, basically, this movie is about the beginning of the Barnum Circus. Barnum and Bailey Circus, actually.
Bailey, yep.
I think Bailey wasn't on there.
Right.
And I'm gonna give this movie also. I actually am gonna give this movie like an A minus. And it was, first of all, the soundtrack alone is enough to see the movie. If I'm being honest, it feels like a musical in the theater. Like you walk in there and it's basically a musical.
Yeah.
Everyone's voices sounded good. I liked the story it was told. I also know it's historically inaccurate. I don't care. But I enjoyed the movie more than I thought I would. Not gonna lie. So yeah. What do you think of the movie, Michael?
I mean, judging by the trailer, I thought I was going to enjoy the movie regardless. That's just me. But my thing was, I know it was a musical, but I'm not a super huge musical fan. However, my final grade for this is an A+. That's how good the music was. Like, I feel like they had a very good blend. It was a decent story, not like a super original story. Like the format's been done over and over again, but like a guy who came from nothing to something, and then got too big for his own good, so he starts letting down his friends and whatever. So, and then his life comes crashing apart. But the format's been done, but I feel like the way that this studio handled this movie was great. I thought the music was awesome. I actually went on Spotify and found some of the songs that I wanted to listen to one more time, and I was like, yo, this is I gotta keep this with me now. Amazing vocals by everyone involved in this movie. Like, I liked everybody singing, even the one person I didn't like, but we'll get to that. But yeah, like I said, it's an A+ for me. I had zero problem with this movie.
Yeah, and for this one, we're probably gonna do our favorite songs because you kind of have to for this.
Mine's easy, but it's whatever.
I think you'll be surprised by mine. Maybe, or maybe we have the same one. You never know.
No, I have a very easy one.
Okay, so funny enough, what is my favorite? I guess. Okay, before I forget, spoilers will be heard on this podcast. So be warned, it's been out for over a month. So hopefully you've seen it by now.
Just by the time you see this podcast, because it's not going up immediately, I think, is it?
No, I was either going to do tomorrow or Tuesday.
You've got a big headway to work with, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is that we're gonna count this one, and I think we just did Jumanji as well.
Yep.
We're gonna count this towards 2018 best of, only because it's only been out a month for 2017, less than a month actually. So I don't think you can really count that. So we're gonna do that. So if it happens to be in our top 5, which I don't know, it probably won't be, but you never know. Then that's the reason why. So, what my favorite character in this movie is Barnum himself.
Same for me.
He is a person who's ambitious. He went after for what he wanted. Yes, he, forgot where he came from, but he worked hard for what he wanted, and he took chances, and deep down, at least in this movie, not in real life, he's an okay guy. Okay? He loved his family. And second run-up is his wife, actually. I love his wife. His wife took a big chance on a guy who used to be just a tailor for his father. Well, not even the tailor's son. She's a definition of a ride or die, but with standards for herself. She's not gonna just take anything. She's like, I'm gonna support you in your dreams, but you're not gonna run over me. And she's very strong, and she's supportive, and she's a good mother. And she never let money change her. She stayed the person. She became the person she wanted to be. And I think that's partly because of her relationship with Barnum. But I really enjoyed both Barnum and Michelle Williams as I think the name was Charity.
Right.
So yeah. Favorite characters.
Favorite character. It'll probably be Barnum and Carlisle. I like their interaction in this movie. I like the way they play through the story. Why you look like that?
I don't know. There's also
Anyways,
like he judging me.
Anyways, I like the way that they interacted later on in the movie. I like how that budding friendship and partnership eventually came along. And I do like how Barnum's process was. Like, he started off with a museum first in this movie, and it was just kind of interesting to see the evolution of his plan into like an actual performance thing, and to actually end up seeing it work. So yeah, I enjoyed that, and that night I really enjoyed their one song that they had together as well in the bar, where he was convincing him to be a partner in the circus. So I was like, you're essentially convincing me to run away and join the circus, which is essentially what he was doing. But I feel like they worked off of each other very well, and they worked off of the actual what would I call them, performers very well individually. So yeah, there was that. They had a lot going for them.
Okay, cool. Next, favorite. Let's get into it. Favorite musical number.
Mine. I'm just getting mine out the way because mine is easy. Mine is the actual one from the trailer. This Is Me, being sang by the bearded lady. But my very second one though is
explain why This Is Me.
Oh, because the bearded lady know how to sing. Shit, she got some pipes on her. You heard the song.
Yeah, but she sang like a lot in this movie.
This was like the one song where like she was the main singer though. Like she had parts in other songs, but it's the one song like she was like the main singer. Because I don't think anything else like essentially like starred her. Might have featured her in it, working off of Hugh Jackman or somebody else. But this one was just straight up her. Like you can kind of tell like this is gonna be her main thing when she was singing when she got hired. And like he went to like find her in the sewing office or whatever. I don't know what the hell there was, some kind of garment factory. But yeah, she did great. And I don't know, they were generous about how much like chest she was showing in this movie. I was like, dang, y'all thought y'all was gonna do a little more with that, but just whatever. That's a little weird for me, but it's fine. Only because like she was wearing she had a beard on, which I know she's like she obviously doesn't have a real beard in real life, but I was like, I got confused hormones right now. I don't know how to feel. I see a beard and like two giant chest area thingies going on here, so it's like that's kind of weird.
AKA breast.
What? Fine, titties, Shanique. Damn, you over here.
I used the right term.
PG up the show. Anyways,
just use the word breast.
Fine, breast, Shanique. You're so such a stickler for it.
Thank you.
Breast, Shanique. Leave the mic alone. Thank you. Let me hold the mic now, yo.
No, I'm trying to get mine.
You keep bragging it back to put your little comments in. I already said your word now. Can I move on my story here?
Anyway, my favorite. We'll get back to your second favorite.
No, that's fine. We don't got to. Go.
No, we are. Because I got 3. I don't know if you have 3.
No, I got 2.
Okay, so my favorite is A Million Dreams. But not the version that's sang by like his daughters. The one that's sang by him as a little boy, and then he grows up, and then he eventually acts. He marries Charity, and him and Charity sings it. That is my favorite. I don't know why. It just stuck into my mind. Maybe because the boy who's singing is really, really good. Like, I don't think I sang that well when I was that young. But I like the theme of the song. He's basically like, my dreams are far away, but I'm going to go get them. And I like that Charity. And also Michelle Williams' voice. Didn't think it sounded like the way it did. Mm-hmm. She kind of pulled like actually, no. Emma Watson's voice in Beauty and the Beast, which is also a really good example of like really good music. She sounded like I thought she would, but Michelle Williams threw me off. And I like that collaboration. So that's my number 1. What is your number 2?
My other one was the one I mentioned earlier with Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron when they were doing their little performance in the bar. Yeah. I really liked that one. It was very upbeat, and I just liked the actual performance and choreography between them two and the bartender with all the drinks. Which, by the way, if they were really drinking rum or whiskey, they would have been extra dead, because they was just going through it like it was apple juice. I wasn't okay with how that was, because I was looking at it cringing a little bit, because in my head I sort of just had a recent experience. I ain't gonna get into it nothing like that, but I'm like, dang, I couldn't hang with them, yo. Maybe they just could handle more back in the day. I don't know. I'm a lightweight, but that was just weird for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so my number 2 is This is Me, which is I think Michael #1, and it was really I like the Bitter Lady's voice. I like the message of the song. I liked how it start because Barden was being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, the dancing, the singing, it was a very good climax to the movie before his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
And then my third favorite is the one between Zac Efron and Zendaya, which is I forgot what it was.
Rewrite the Stars or something like that.
Yes, Rewrite the Stars. I thought they sounded really good. I haven't heard Zendaya's voice. I always knew she could sing because she's on Disney and she didn't rap. So I was like, you have to be able to sing to go on Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very excited to hear her voice, and she sounded really good with Zac Efron. And his voice actually has improved since the last time I heard him sing. I still hate the way he lip sings, but we're gonna get over that. And those are my top 3. So I guess I also agree with you. I like that his daughters kind of gave him the inspiration to start the circus. One of my favorite scenes, since we should get into favorite scenes, is actually no, I think we did that.
I mean, technically, it would be my favorite song regardless. It'll be my bar scene. That'd probably be it. Cause I really like that choreography. But that 3-man like jive that they had going on. I don't know what else to call it, but yeah, that was pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, like one of my favorite scenes is when he's recruiting the acts for the circus.
Mm-hmm.
First time, I like the montage of that. I thought that
the dog boy thing kind of threw me off for a loop. I thought it was supposed to be a monkey, then they said dog boy. Because I'm like, how do you even? At what point did you realize you're just not gonna start shaving? Like you could avoid all of this. You said you're an outcast because you're hairy. I'm like, dog, you could have done something about that.
No, I think he's supposed to have that disease that's supposed to be like werewolf disease or something. That makes you constantly grow hair,
I mean,
so you can't.
You gotta constantly shave.
You can't shave enough to like stop the hair from growing. You would have to shave all day. Like those people like remain, but you gotta work though. So then like during work, it's still growing hair.
I mean, you're not gonna grow it right in front of somebody. Like, no matter how fast you grow it, you're not gonna grow it overnight. That's not how hair works.
I know that, but like I think with that disease, it's actually really hard to actually maintain.
I'm sure. I'll go with that.
At least from what I've seen of people like in real life who had that disease.
Mm-hmm.
They just hairy. Okay, you could still find love.
Mm-hmm.
And then so let's get into it. Bardem, he starts the circus. Everything's going great. They meet the queen. It's all good. And this comes in, the character that Michael hates. Jenny.
Oh yeah, Jenny Lind. Yep.
First of all, the woman, she's from Mission Impossible, and she plays Jenny Lind. Her voice.
That's my number 3 song if I had one, by the way. Her song, yeah, that's probably my number 3. She has some freaking pipes.
Yes, she does. And I'm like, I'm not even into songs like that, but that was a really good ballad.
Yeah, that drew me in, yeah.
So, she basically falls in love with Bardem. And he's still all about charity. But he basically stays around her for the money, which I think she knew, but she caught feelings.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't return them, she said, "Oh, you're just gonna be ruined." That's the ultimate revenge of. I'm about to say revenge of the side chick, but she's not the side chick. She never got there.
Yeah, she's trying to send applications, but she didn't get hired.
She got rejected, and then she did something else spiteful. That's what made me not like her. I understood her not doing the tour anymore. Because, she let her heart get in the way. But I didn't like the kiss thing. She purposely set him up. And that's what I don't like.
Yeah, she dipped on the tour. She decided to, get him caught up in the newspapers and all that. And conveniently or inconveniently timely, his freaking, performance center goes up in flames back in New York. So I was like, damn, this is just screwed on all fronts.
See, the funny thing is, Bardem kind of screwed himself a little bit there. One, his first mistake was getting too close to her.
Mm-hmm.
Second mistake was putting all his capital on her, including the house where his kids and his wife are.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third mistake was turning his back on his family. Maybe not in this order, but that's exactly what he did wrong. Like, he actually, even if his place burned down still, he would at least still had his family and his money.
Yeah.
But
which is apparently a lot. I don't know, maybe you can make a lot of money in circus business back in the day, but he got a lot of money. This guy moved up into the main like lobby of his house or mansion. I'm just go ahead and call it what it is. His mansion is probably big as maybe 3 or 4 of the house that my parents live in right now. And I'm like, that's the front door. That's just when you enter the damn place. I'm like, nah, son, that's.
Well, the circus was the circus the reason he had it, or was because he had that stuff before Jenny came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah,
he just wanted more. That's all. It's like one of them things where like enough was never enough. Because at that point he'd already like met the queen and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and Barnum's insecure. Let's be honest. He was an insecure guy who thought he'll never be anything because of what his father-in-law said.
No, after a certain amount of money, I just stopped getting insecure. Like, Shango, if I can't hear you over all the dollar bills in the background, I'm sorry. Speak up louder. See, that'd have been me, but I don't know. I think he's like you said. His problem. He couldn't keep his ego in check, especially because of Charity's dad, who he definitely wanted to rub it in his face, and apparently the mom too, because the mom never met the grandkids, which is kind of weird. I guess because they're ashamed of them for being with Barnum, the poor tailor's boy son, whatever it was.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess there's that going on.
Yeah, and then Michael's being weird over here. So you had that basically his downfall, and he loses basically everything he built. But it leads to because they lose their building, it leads to the legendary tent.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads to Barnum eventually retiring and letting Carlisle do the work. So I saw the downfall happening. I just didn't think it would be as bad. I didn't think he would have to start from the ground up. But I thought he would lose business and then have to but no, they took away everything.
Mm.
And it's also weird. It's also weird. He never paid off the bank. He had all the money, but he didn't pay off the bank. I
think he did. Just at that point. He ended up, probably putting investments into something else.
Oh yeah, Jenny.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and that tour got cut short, so all that money, he couldn't even touch now.
See, Jenny,
or make in the first place, really.
I know Jenny was heartbroken because she felt like he played with her feelings, yada yada. But that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money, and I'm not giving that up for no dude. But that's just me. I'm not in love with Barnum.
Another nice little storyline that was in the movie was Carlisle's story with Zendaya. I thought that was a cool little storyline to get into, which I didn't really like. I guess they needed some kind of character development for them. But I don't know how historically accurate that part is either. I haven't done any kind of research into this.
I don't even think there's a Carlisle in the history.
Okay, gotcha. I can believe that, to be honest. But yeah, I just thought that was a little cool little story there about back in the days. I'm sorry, I'm just say it as it is. He tried to have a thing with Zendaya, but he got to keep up appearances because she's black and he's white. So there's a point where they were holding hands, but someone looked over at them, and then he just immediately let go, and that gave Zendaya the wrong kind of feeling. I'm like, oh, so that's how it is.
Well, that was his parents, wasn't just someone.
Yeah. It was his parents, but either way, the same concept applies. You're trying to show face for a certain person who you're not trying to actually impress right now. You're not going to impress them by only liking me in the shadows. And then go ahead.
No, keep going.
Go ahead.
All I was saying was I don't think it was only the race thing, but I also think it was part of the fact that she worked in the circus too.
I mean, yeah, I think it's both. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think both of them was the problem because I think even if Zendaya character happened to be white, they still wouldn't have approved of her because she worked in that circus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm only saying because they called her the help. Because I'm assuming that's what the majority of their hate, not hate, but prejudice is coming from with her. They straight up called her the help, and I was like, okay, that was the line, guys. Now I got to push y'all down the stairs. I'm playing. Don't retaliate by being violent, but still, it's just where I got my idea from why the most of their strife was coming from, which is pretty good because at least later in the movie he actually does not care about the actual appearance of him publicly with Zendaya. He should have told his parents I'd rather be with her than keep up appearances with y'all mofos, and then it led into their song, which is pretty good. And then he even ran into the burning building thinking she was in there, only to almost get killed. And I guess that proved to her that, okay, maybe he really does love me, but he had a hard time showing it earlier. And then, that became a thing.
Well, I think him dying, I thought she knew. Because in Rewrite the Stars, it seemed like she knew that he loved her. But I think she was afraid to love him back.
I agree.
It took him like almost being burnt to a Christmas, and she was like, "Babe, I love you.
Alright, I get it. I love you. Come on, just don't die now.
Don't die, don't die." What else? I think those are the main storylines. Obviously, the overall theme, you know, the misfits and everything.
Yeah.
Be who you are. Like, nothing can stop you from achieving your goals. All that thing. Don't judge a book by character. Typical, like,
which the reporter definitely did. Because like, that reporter, I forgot his name. He was like, you know, giving them a hard time, saying you're just bringing together a bunch of freaks to, you know, do performances or whatever. Like you're just a con man and all this. And you know, they I'm just going by the movie here. But like,
I'm not saying, like, in the movie, he's a con man too.
I mean, yeah, but still, I mean,
he's just a likable con man.
I guess, but like, you know, I feel like part of his heart was in the right place because like he did, like, you know, prioritize the smiles on people's faces, even though he knew like he was selling them a lie. He should have said it, like, I'm selling them a lie, but it puts more smiles on their faces than, you know, this other performance does with, like, you know, this bland ass singing or bland ass acting or whatever. So sure, it's a lie. But people are happy now, and they're happier because of it, and they have no regret because of it. Hell, the people going there are aware it's a lie, but like, you know, the lie is like, you know, what is the actual lie? That, you know, everything is like, you know, what would I even call this lie? Like, the movie kept going back to and from it for a while, but what do I even call this lie?
Well, what he describes, like, okay, like, for the guy that's a giant.
Got on stilts, right? And like the 500-pound guy.
The wolf guy is not a wolf guy. The person with the
okay.
There's stuff like that. He was saying these people were like, you know, gifted with like extraordinary abilities, and then they actually would just had disabilities or disfigurements.
Let's go with that. I'm pretty sure the people who go in there also knew, but like, you know,
I mean, they knew.
And that's where all the thugs came in saying, like, you know, they were salty about it, like, nah, you gotta take that lying shit somewhere else. I'm like, y'all like bums anyway, so why y'all even angry about this shit?
Are they bums? I thought they were like factory.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think they are, but like, they just always look dirty to me, so I call them bums. And the moment you're irresponsibly violent, I also call you a bum. So yeah.
Yeah. And then like, I think Zendaya and her brother were only there because they were black. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
they didn't have no other disfigurement. They were just
pretty much.
They called them spooks. I don't know what that term means, but they were called spooks at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know what I know what it means, but then I don't know what it means at the same time. Do you?
I'm pretty sure it's something derogatory for being black, but
probably.
I don't know like the origin or the story behind that word itself. So
yeah, it's like an old school word. Yeah. So overall, I thought this was really, really good. I don't have any moments I particularly dislike. The only reason, I guess I'll explain why I gave it an A-. I thought the story was weak in a way, but because the music was so good, you could ignore most of that. You know, but because the story wasn't as strong as the music, that's why I couldn't fully give it an A+. But it's still a good movie, and I would still say watch it. Do you have any closing remarks?
I mean, yeah, like I said before, the format has been done before, so I already saw it becoming predictable. The moment he got a mansion, and I realized Jenny Lynn was gonna get involved, and I was like, he gonna sell him out, or not necessarily sell him out, but like, you know, not be around, like, you know, start prioritizing Jenny. Okay, like, you know, the story is predictable, but being predictable isn't always bad if you do it well. You know, like, you can rewrite the same formula 100 times and it can still feel fresh depending on how you do it. And I feel like the movie did it just like that. And at the end of the day, you're there for the music. Like, the movie is half music, so
more than half.
You're right. So I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, and you won't regret it. Like, the music is very damn good. It's like Disney caliber type music, so you know what, you'll enjoy yourself.
It's a Disney movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Watch the movie. It's also on Spotify, so check that shit out.
Yeah, the Greatest Showman soundtrack is on Spotify, and I recommend you listen to it. Even if you don't see the movie, listen to the soundtrack. You'll still enjoy the song.
Maybe it'll make you want to see the movie at that point. Because seeing it in theaters, I feel like it's a pretty good experience as well, too. So
yes, seeing the story behind the songs is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I close it out. Me and Michael both see this movie. Great music. And if you don't see the movie, at least listen to the soundtrack.
Right.
And also, guys, let us know what you guys think of The Greatest Showman. Is it overhyped? Is the soundtrack not okay? Or do you agree with us? I'm like, yo, this is good music, very good movies, very fun. Just let us know what you think. Leave comments, because we do read them. As Mike could attest to, we actually do read the comments, whether it's on YouTube or SoundCloud or Facebook or any other app. We do read them. And you can tweet us at Echo U Podcast. You can also find us on any social media sites at Echo Underground Podcast. And that could be either Facebook, iTunes, or SoundCloud as well. And also podcasting apps have us as Echo Underground Podcast. We'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
See ya.